And please stay till the end. We have a special event coming up, and we would love for you to join us, and you'll receive a free gift too. So, we're getting started with our step two. Sound financial management is at the heart of every business, no matter how big or small. And we're going to be talking about pricing today. This is part one of it. For most of these businesses, those businesses, it's not a lack of customers or poor quality products or services that are responsible for their demise. It's simply a lack of understanding the money. So we're focusing this in the next few sessions on making small business finance understandable for those with limited business finance experience. It's for those of you who've had an idea and decided to pursue it, but now need a little bit of help to manage your finances effectively. We're going to start with pricing strategies. Why? Well, before we can start talking about cash flow, expenses, debt, and financial statements, you've got to have something to sell and a price that'll make you money. The first step in pricing strategy is price optimization. That is essentially a fact finding process that'll help you find your best possible price point for a product or service. Now, the challenge in this step is understanding that there is going to be a trade off, and it's a pretty big one. See, low prices usually mean better value for the customer. Better value for the customer will usually equal higher volumes of sales. Well, you say, well, that's why I'm doing this. I want to sell lots and lots of things. And you're right to a certain extent. What few people realize is that selling lots and lots of things can actually result in a loss to you in terms of revenue that each sale brings in. It can and usually does bring an increase in expenses too. So when I say that, my clients usually say to me, are you sure? That doesn't sound right. Well, when you look at the surface of it, as long as you're selling more, you're making more, but you're making more revenue. It doesn't speak to what you are making. Businesses are supposed to make money, but they're really supposed to make a profit. Here's the simplest example I can give you. It was my reality for years. I owned a balloon decor and decorating a delivery business for over 20 years. A majority of people who are shopping for party decor believe that if they order more, they should get a lower price. So here's how that broke down. 100 balloons at $1.25 per balloon. $100 would have been good. 100 balloons at 125. That's 125 plus tax. Hey, there's nothing we can do about the tax. Delivery charge was $25, and the total charge would be $150. Now, to make those 100 balloons, I needed two people to get the work done. That would cost me about $30. Product, the balloons, the helium, the ribbon, that cost about $30. $15 in delivery expenses and $20 towards my overhead costs. And on that order, my profit would be approximately $55 or about 37%. The same customer says, what if I ordered 200 balloons? Can you do better on the price? See, I thought that was a Brooklyn thing, but apparently it's an all over the world thing. So we came down to $1 per balloon. Now watch this. If we do 250 balloons at $1 per piece, we make $250. That's more. Plus $35 delivery because now my van is full. It's got to be maxed out on the delivery charge. So $285 for the order. That's much more than the 100 balloons. The payroll is now $55 more. The product now costs me $60, $35 in delivery expenses because now I have to send another person, and $30 towards my overhead costs because it's taking longer. We're in our space longer. So now a larger quantity order, my profit would be $80 or 28% profit. And you say, okay, well, 80 is bigger than 55. You're right. I made more money. But here's the thing. 100 balloons makes me a 37% profit. 250 balloons looks like I make a lot more in dollars, but in percentage, I actually clear 9% less. Makes more sense to do less, no? Now, the opposite thinking is higher price points mean that each sale has a higher overall profit. But if the customer sees a higher price as representing a lower value for the money, or if they just don't comprehend the value you're giving them, which happened a lot of times, your overall sales volumes will be lower, guaranteed. What price optimization does is help you to find that lucrative sweet spot between value and volume. That's a precarious balance because that can have a major effect on customer satisfaction, for one, loyalty, sales, and ultimately your profitability and growth. So, what information do we use in finding out our price optimization using that strategy? You should think about gathering this important information to create your plan. Customer survey data. Ask your customers. You can do a poll or survey wrapped in a contest, however, you can get their input. Here's a novel idea. You can simply talk to them and ask them. There's an idea, communication. You can find out what they're willing to pay and at what price point. You can find out how often they'll buy, when their journey as your customer might end, and the amount that customers will likely spend with you. There's also demographic and psychographic data. Don't forget to capture that information. It's very important, like age, gender, household income, and lifestyles. Historic sales data. Listen, if you're already running your business, great news. You already have access to some very powerful data. What has sold, the patterns, the changes, etc. And even when you've run out of stuff. Operating costs as well, inventories, all of that has to be calculated in. So, what do you need to optimize for? In addition to your basic everyday pricing, we recommend performing price optimizations for the following three types of price strategies: your starting price, because the point at which your product first launches is vital to establishing it in the market and in the minds of your customers. Too low, you may gain some traction in the early stages, but you could also lose sales in the long run. And as you begin to raise prices, people drop off even more. Customers begin to think you no longer represent value for the money. With a too high starting price, it can cause you to miss out on sales from that lucrative innovator that loves your product or an early adopter, the segment of your consumers. Discounted prices is the second one. You might think that a discount is the way to drive sales. This can be right, but what level of discount should you offer? Listen, a 5% discount may seem measly to your customers, but it protects your bottom line. It's still a discount. And a 50% discount could be seen as a bonanza for the customer, but it might undermine the business's long term profit. And it usually does. And finally, you have promotional prices. So, should you slash the prices to half of their original price or offer a buy one, get one free deal, those BOGO deals? On paper, both strategies have the potential to yield the same revenue. It's the same thing said differently, six of one, half dozen of another. But practice and paper are very different beasts. So, price optimization can help you determine the most effective and profitable approach to promotional pricing. Lastly, why is price optimization important? Price optimization is crucial for a myriad of reasons. You have missed opportunities if they're not priced right, if your products are not priced right, and low revenue. Businesses suffer a lack of profitability and oftentimes will fail completely because their owners have under or overpriced products or services. Optimizing price is a high impact growth lever and it's a repeatable process. You can do this over and over again. You can grow quickly because you have the revenue to leverage. You also have a loyal customer base that's willing to pay your price because you've given quality products or services consistently. If you don't meet customers' expectations, they'll go to your competitors. Competition is rampant. So you can only meet the customer's needs if you understand what those needs are, and that includes what they expect to pay when they work with you. So that's our lesson for today. Start working on your price strategy. Next week in Pricing Part 2, we will talk about the challenges and the results good pricing strategy brings. Make sure you set a reminder to join us next Thursday at 1 p.m. And here's my special announcement, drum roll please. If you would like to learn more about this strategy and others, join me for a live webinar next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's all based on my book, Run a New 10K, 45 Minutes to a $10,000 Business Breakthrough. That is it, $10,000. There's plenty more where that is. Imagine what we find in working with us throughout the year if we find 10,000 in 45 minutes. You'll receive a free gift when you register at cardinaltiny.us/10K webinar. It's right down beneath me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow us all over social media at Cardinal Profit on LinkedIn, Facebook, and subscribe to my channel, Jane Parmel Business Coaching, on YouTube, please. See you next time. Have a great and profitable week. Take care, everybody.